It is a bit surprising. You run into project managers who perceive something going wrong but hope that it won't go wrong, and as a result don't highlight it, which means by the time the client finds out about it, it's too late for any mitigation at all. And the story I tell that relates to that is the story of Donald Crowhurst, where Donald Crowhurst was a round-the-world sailor, and he took off in the race around the world and his boat started to fall apart. Now, most people would have turned around, because it started within the first 2 days after he'd sailed out of one of the ports in the south of England, turned around and gone back and either pulled out or repaired the boat and then started again. Crowhurst decided he would take his foot off the accelerator, so he reduced sail so the boat stopped falling apart, and then he just kept on sending in position calls that placed him ahead of where he was. So he just made up the route around the world in his own mind and called those positions in. By the end of the race, he was in front, except he hadn't moved. He'd gone and camped off the coast of Brazil somewhere, and then went back up to the Bahamas and was hiding out in the Bahamas, where they eventually found his boat and he was gone. And they found his logs, which told everybody what he'd done. In a project sense, you see that occurring when a project manager's claiming progress that hasn't really been made, and then it's exactly the same as plotting a course around the world that you're actually not on. And you see it in the S-curve, because you get to a certain point where you can no longer maintain the fiction that the project is proceeding as you have been telling everybody it has, and then the S-curve flatlines for whatever period of time is necessary for the real progress to catch up with the claimed progress. And during that period, the project manager has typically disappeared on holidays or left the job to go somewhere else or whatever, because they don't want to face the music. But the reality is that the first week that you were claiming extra progress beyond what you've really achieved was the primary mistake. You should have simply stepped forward and said, look, we're not getting where we need to go. And at that stage, everybody's eyes are on your problem. You're not the only person left to solve it, and there is some chance of mitigating the problem.